We were in the process of adopting 2 kids in Haiti when we met Fabrice. We had met him and kind of been captivated by him, really, but he was being adopted by another family. A couple months later, we found out that they weren't able to adopt him, so we were very quick to jump on the opportunity. Growing up in Haiti it's tough for everyone. Fabby was given over to the orphanage when he was 4 or 5 years old. His mother, who was a bread maker, could no longer take care of all of the kids, so he was dropped off there. She would come visit him from time to time until her passing. So he went through quite a bit for as young as he was. I'll never forget the day the earthquake hit in Haiti in 2010. I was busy running my business and somebody casually mentioned that there was an earthquake in Haiti. I immediately became terrified because I knew those buildings and the condition of the country couldn't withstand much of a quake. I remember rushing to my office, looking up the earthquake and seeing the destruction and being overcome with fear. It's a very difficult situation to be so far from kids you love and have no idea if they're okay.
The day of the earthquake, there were so many people that was running around, screaming, and there were some people that died.
When the earthquake initially hit, the orphanage that they were in actually came down. Fabrice's soon-to-be sister was actually buried under the rubble. When Fabby realized what was happening, he dug her out with his bare hands. He still got a scar on his forehead from where a piece of the building fell and hit him on the head as he was doing it. But he actually was the one who pulled her out of the rubble. When it was time to come home, the kids came over on humanitarian parole, and they basically lined up all the kids in the orphanage to get on this big plane and fly home. A very exciting time. We were on our way from Utah to Florida to meet them. When we were just about to board the plane, we found out that Fabrice was not allowed to get on with the other kids because the paperwork had been mixed up and lost. So he had to watch everybody he'd known in his life get on a plane and fly away. And he just kept telling the coordinator that he was sorry because he felt like he must have done something wrong. Luckily, we had been there and taken pictures with him and were able to send some documentation that we were actually truly adopting Fabrice and not trying to take advantage of the situation. And he was escorted to just a big cargo plane by a Lieutenant Colonel Draper, who put him on the plane and sent him to us. So their first few days in the U.S. and Fabby's first few days in the U.S. was just so much fun. Everything was brand new. In the orphanage they were in had no power, had no air conditioning, it was just basically a structure they lived in. When they got here, it was walking into a snowstorm. So snow was brand new to him. I remember he went and picked some up thinking, hey, this is amazing, and shortly after started to scream because his hands were so cold, something he'd never experienced before. Right down to something as simple as microwave popcorn. We threw some in the microwave and started to make it, and they were just blown away that little flat bag could become popcorn. So every day was a fun adventure.
So then you get into here.
Very early on, as Fabby was attending elementary school, his days were a little different than an average student because he didn't speak English, had really no clue, never even been to school before. So most of his days, the teacher would just allow him to go to physical education or PE all day long.
Well, when Fabrice, since he couldn't speak much English at all, his first grade teacher asked me to bring, if he could come to PE every day until he kind of learned some English. And so he played against first graders, he played against fifth graders, he played against third graders, and whatever sport I played him in, he was an excellent player. And so we happened to be doing soccer at the time, and he would just dominate any grade that he would play against out there. And I thought, man, this boy needs to go play some soccer in a competitive atmosphere.
one day when we were picking him up from school, Joel was standing there, and we thought, oh no, I wonder what Fabrice has done. But he asked us to bring him out to the soccer tryouts. My initial instinct was no. Fabby didn't understand English. Fabby didn't really know anybody yet, and I felt like this is going to be a really hard situation for him to go into, not knowing how to actually do or understand what they're saying. My wife convinced me, let's just take him. And that's the first time we saw Fabby with a soccer ball. He was so naturally talented doing what he did that he easily made the team, and probably the best decision we made. Most people assume that Fabby played a lot of soccer in Haiti just because of how talented he was coming here to the U.S. But in the orphanage, there really was no grass. There was about a 10 by 10 square of concrete that they would use a homemade ball on and just kind of kick it around. So not a lot of experience coming to the U.S. With soccer. It's something he really picked up. He watched, he enjoyed when he got here, but finally when he got a hold of a ball, that's when he came alive.
Fabby is an explosive soccer player, very creative, studies the game. He likes to watch professional games and mimic some of the things that he sees them do, and he's constantly showing me new footwork that he's developed.
Soccer was key to helping Fabby grow his confidence and to feel like he was part of the United States. He went and really learned English from one of his friends on the soccer team. And it's those friends that he's still close with today. They really helped him adjust from, being this new kid in a new environment to just one of the guys. And I'll never regret the decision to put him into it.
We'd be teaching him and coaching him, and our head coach, Scott Beck, would be pushing out soccer points and coaching points, and Fabby would look over and say, can we scrimmage? Those are the words that Fabby really came to know. And it kind of helped, ease and break down the tenseness of a situation where you don't really know exactly everything that's being said and going on. And from there, friendships grew that he has today with a lot of those boys.
Fabrice really enjoys playing. He's playing up a year with his U14 La Roca team. They get to travel around a lot, take on a lot of different tournaments. He likes the challenge of playing with the older, bigger kids. He's also part of the Utah Olympic Development Program, and we'll play futsal, soccer, anything with a soccer ball at a drop of a hat. It's hard to find Fabby without a soccer ball or some kind of soccer show on TV. It really is a huge part of his life.
Everywhere you go, people know who Fabby is. Out of state tournaments, all kinds of things. Fabby's known for being Fabby. The kid with dreads with exceptional speed, and he's really, home, great kid, school, great kid. Nobody has problems with him. Fulfills his responsibilities at church. Really just a standout kid all the way around.
I'm so proud of Fabby on the soccer field and what he's accomplished, but it really doesn't define who he is, and I couldn't be more proud of who he is as a young man. He puts the same passion into achieving high grades and into being a good person as he does into playing the game. He's a wonderful young man who takes his responsibilities in his life, from his schooling to his activities like soccer, very serious. He wants to be very good at what he does, but he also wants to do it the right way. He doesn't look for shortcuts.